is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of MP Crowley Incorporated and by Rockland Trust, where each relationship matters.
There you go at Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella. A little close there. Let me center myself. There you go. And yes, we're live this afternoon as we are each and every Thursday. A little bit late here. We have a power, strange thing, downtown in all our municipal buildings at the high rise. If you're watching from there, it's like half of your circuits are working, half aren't. We've been trying to reach out to National Grid, and the last call we got from them, they said, "Oh, geez, nobody called us." And we said, "Well, no, we did. We called in 12:30 this afternoon." And I think it's time. We're going to, the next Department of Public Utilities meeting, I'm going to see if I can get on the agenda out there. And I remember 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, but don't worry, when these power things go out, we got a new system that tells us immediately the power's out and where it's out. And I remember after one of the ice storms, we were the only way we could tell the power was on, because it was daytime, is we ran around and looked at doorbells. And I said, this is another century. There has to be some more technology other than this to tell us whether or not, oh no, we're going to upgrade the system and we'll be able to tell exactly where the power is out and why, and at least isolate it so that we can see the area and then we can get people out. Sometimes it's just a matter of I mean, we sent our people out looking for maybe a tree or a limb was down, and sometimes it's just a matter of one of these fuses that you'll see them with a big pole, and they'll just reset the pole and all the power will come back on. So for the next, as soon as we can get on the next Department of Public Utilities, it's time. We've been more than diplomatic with National Grid, and then what they'll tell you is, well, we have power out and all over the place, and then we look at the map and there's one or two towns that have a couple power outages. So that's their canned kind of excuses. Oh yeah, we've got other towns. Well, last night the weather was high winds, gusts, possible power outages. That's when you send extra crews out, right? That's when you get ready in anticipation of having power outages. So here we are downtown on a Thursday night, and businesses without power and internet and coolers and freezers and cash register. Everything runs by electricity and all without it. So we'll let you know the outcome of that. Anyway, let me just take a second to. In order for me to, let's see, in order for me to do, I have to like this. First, I have to get on another Wi-Fi. Then, all right, so I'm on a guest, and now I go to Leominster.tv. No, one more time. Try it again. There we go. And then we're live and I can share it. Beautiful. There we go. Anyway, our phone number is 978-534-1626. And if you are without power or partial power, let us know. That way we can tell National Grid, like, hey, National Grid, just so you know, there are places without power. I remember last time we had a storm, and we're like, there is not, we went down to National Grid on Viscaloid Ave. There isn't anybody around, like no movement. Nobody coming in, nobody going out. And we're like, what's going on? Like, oh yeah, we're out in somewhere else. Like, okay, you take every single person that works for you to send them to Gardner? Why don't you just send somebody down? It might be something simple. I don't know. I get frustrated with these utility companies, and it's just, and I know you do as well. And the prices just keep going up. Right? And nobody wants to do anything about it. Nobody. They're just like, yeah, all right, no big deal. All right, you know. Well, when they come in for a rate increase, you say, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to increase. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen? A power might go out. It might take 8 hours to get it fixed. 978-534-1626. And tonight we've got guests, so we're not going to waste any more time talking about power that we don't have. And what we'll do is remind you that we have a busy weekend. A lot going on this weekend. I'll give you a whole rundown in a couple of minutes. But first, let's take a short break. How's that? You guys ready for a short break? And then we'll be right back. Hit the switch, turn the lights on, and then see Santa. Then go home and have grilled cheese and tomato soup.
All right.
Hot shower, and I want you up early in the morning. All right, everybody, you ready? We're gonna hit the switch. Are you ready? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no! There you go. Thank you, Operations Service. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And however you celebrate the holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, happy holidays. Thank you, everybody. Santa's up here, kids. Come on up. There you go. Next Monday will be the celebration of lights. Hanukkah starts on Monday. And anyway, we're back. Again, 978, if you want to jump in at any time, ask a question, 978-534-1626. And the members of the Historic Commission are here, Mike Kerrigan, Dianne Sanabria, Girouard and Mary Marotta. And I said when Mike was on here last, I said, we got to talk about the holiday, what historic in Leominster. And everybody seems to have their own memory of I remember there were so many lights and those things that hung across the street.
Across the street.
And
love
going
those.
to Grant's. And one thing I do remember is that the businesses did an exceptional job decorating in the window. Now that may be just a sort of blown up proportion of my memory versus what it really,
it was
really
huge,
was like.
It was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Especially right after the war. In '46, actually was the first. There was a really good article about all the decorations that they were putting up, and because they removed all the trolley wires that year, they lost all the poles that they could put decorations on.
Oh, no.
So that's when they decided that we're going to focus on the common and decorating the common. So they had Christmas trees. They had Santa Claus in his house, the Santa house, which I don't remember.
Right.
But
we're going to bring that back next year. This year, I couldn't get a shed up here quick enough. I think we'll have the trade school, the Center for Technical Education, has a whole year now to build us a little Santa shack.
And I guess at first it was mechanical. You had the mechanical Santa in the house, and then they had reindeer, and they set it up so that you would have to park your car and you could walk the common. That's what they wanted you to do.
Right.
So yeah, it was pretty neat. And then of course, somebody was on Facebook a little bit, maybe a week or two ago, was talking about Santa and the Santa house, and they tagged me because they said, Dianne Sanabria, your great-grandfather played Santa downtown.
Really?
He did, Pop.
Did you know that?
I knew that,
Oh, you
yeah,
knew
I
that.
knew that. I said, I don't have a picture of Pop playing Santa.
You don't?
No,
Has
I've got a
anybody-
great picture of Pop, but I don't have
I
a
wonder
picture of him
if
being
anybody's
Santa.
out there that, as you're coming through things or sorting through things and you come across things, bring them down to the Historic Commission just so they could take a quick look at them to see if there's anything in there. And just so everybody knows, everything gets scanned in down there. So, people bring things in, and sometimes there's just not enough places to put things.
Right.
But at least if it's scanned in, it's there forever. At least you got a
we
picture
have a record of it.
You may not actually be able to pick up the actual picture, but it's scanned in. It's just as good. And then you can enhance it with AI, and there's so many apps today you can actually sort of. I'm just amazed at Henry Saints here and how vivid and clear some of his photographs are.
Photographs are amazing.
Like better than anything that you see today. And I know it was primitive technology, but it's just amazing.
Yeah, he did a great job.
But remember, downtown is before the mall.
Right.
You didn't have any options. You came downtown. That's where you shopped.
That's where you shopped.
My brother was saying he was counting the number of shoe stores downtown.
Oh, there were tons of them.
There's like 5 shoe stores.
Yeah.
And hang on, we're going to find out about power here. Yes, Joe.
Hey, they have 400 customers out in Pepperell and 167 in Westminster.
And that's the big deal.
They're short. They had 3 accidents last night, took 3 poles out. So they got 3 crews or 4 crews on mandatory rest time. They got 2 crews in, plus the 2 trouble trucks.
And how many are coming here?
They're in Pepperell right now in Westminster.
Yeah.
As soon as he's done in Pepperell, the 911, then that truck is heading this way.
Unbelievable. What an operation.
Yep.
Wow.
They knew this was coming. It was on the news for the last 3 or 4 days, high winds.
3 accidents last night took the guys mandatory. They're out more than 24 hours. They gotta go.
Right, so you get other crews from other areas and bring them in, right? I mean, that takes too much thinking. Yeah. All right, Joe, thanks.
All right, no problem.
So there you go. The weight is on.
The weight
That's
is on.
The
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse operation. And I love it because some of them want to tell us how to do our jobs. And I'm like, okay, just let me in there. Let me in for a little while. Just let me in there for a month to National Grid. Just a month. Just 1 month. And I think I can help. But yeah, I mean, people had to do business downtown.
Yeah.
And, there was rock
There was
deals.
music.
And there was music?
There was music in 1952. There's Christmas music broadcast throughout the business section. So they had it, while people were shopping. So you had
And
business.
that was like ahead of
ahead of the
things.
curve. Yeah, they
Before
took one of your
Bluetooth.
ideas before. Yeah.
I wonder if they got it from a radio station or something. At the time
know,
they just kind of ran. Imagine they had to run wire. There was no Bluetooth. They had to run wire and speakers all over
Right,
downtown.
right. Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
They, from the pictures I saw, they didn't have the ability to light up things like we do today. They didn't
Right.
have the opportunity to light up like, the common like we do. Oh, we got some pictures here.
We do.
Let's see what we can see.
That's an interesting one there. Most interesting one I've ever It's right
As
in
an
front of
accident,
Allen's.
brought everybody,
Yeah.
huh?
Christmas,
A
height
little
of the Christmas
browsing at
season.
Allen's.
Yeah, they were window shopping. So there's the
were.
decorations at Allen's.
Yeah.
You can keep going with the pictures. These are pretty interesting.
And then that.
Oh, they actually landed a helicopter.
They several times.
I didn't know it was actually a
several
true thing.
times. It is.
And that don't look like
in
the most-
57 and 59, both those years, he came. He
So
landed
Santa
in a
arrived
helicopter.
Must have been.
Arrived in a helicopter.
And did you see the picture of everybody at City Hall when Santa came? There must have been 1,000 people in there.
There's.
Oh, there's Santa Claus here. Who's
Yep.
that? Is it the mayor? Looks like the mayor.
It could have been the mayor at the time.
I
I was thinking,
think
you know,
so.
it would have had to been anyways.
Mostly welcoming him to
Right.
Leominster.
I remember those
Right.
decorations right there, hanging off the poles.
Yeah. But it's the ones
I
that
remember
went
the
from
season's
side to
greeting and
side.
then
Early
the,
70s.
Right. I remember
Yeah.
the season's greeting and the.
Yeah, in 1948, once at the Santa House on the Common, he was besieged by young America, about 2,000 of them strong. And he waved his greetings to them and spoke briefly to a few gathered close to him. Then he began the long task of presenting little bags of candy to the youngsters. So 2,000 kids
Kids showed up.
showed up. Yeah, I love that. That's part of, there was a big, big spread in the paper.
That looks like an
And,
ink kind of stamp kind of thing, like
Yeah.
like somebody.
They did
carved
a
it
lot
out.
of black and white line drawings as far as,
And it was
for
all done
ads.
by hand.
So that was the second part of it, shop in Leominster.
Now, they had
Christmas
their own
downtown
Chamber
is
of
decided.
Commerce downtown.
Yes, and they were the ones that really did
It
a
was
lot of this.
close to where like Anderson Bagley was. That's the
Yep.
last time I remember it.
Yep.
And it was it Clarence Daniels? Was the director? Yeah, it was Clarence Daniels was the head of the at the time was the head of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
why not plan to do your Christmas shopping at the stores listed below? That's when everybody read.
Yeah, you
everybody
look at
read the
those
newspaper.
stores, yeah.
Everybody read
And
the
you look at all those
newspapers.
stores and think, oh
Economy
my God.
Paint.
Yep.
J.C. Penney was where the juice place is in that area right now.
Yep.
Werner's was next door. Weber Furniture. There's Allen's. That must be a more modern picture,
That's-
right? Because
yeah,
we've
that's
got
a-
flowers out front.
Right. And then there's,
That was a.
their
was it-
Christmas card shop open. That's Allen's.
that's Allen's.
Yeah, some displays. And that's the
Student
BC.
Brothers
Yeah, Student
Shoe
Brothers
Store.
Shoe Store.
The
yeah.
men's shop. I remember Student Brothers. I remember Cumberland Farms. That's like a 1960 something
Yeah, that's- in the
Dodge
60s.
Cornet.
Yep.
But Cumberland's, you could go in and for 19 cents you could get a pint of ice cream. Now those two buildings on the right are no longer there, but I remember there was a gift shop or maybe a sports place there. on the right.
Gloria's.
It was
the
called the
Sport
Sport Mart back
Sport
then.
Mart.
Sport Mart. Yeah.
Yep.
And there's the ad for Cumberland Farms.
Yeah.
Yep. Eggnog, frozen pudding.
Cake.
And
Yeah,
there's
the old
Lubin's.
square.
Yeah,
Lubin's.
there's Lubin's, yeah.
Lubin's was still there in 87 or 88 when
Yeah.
my daughter was a couple of years old. I brought her down to buy her a special party Christmas dress
Yeah.
with little bells on it. It had little bells sewn on the
Lubin's
inside.
and Rubens.
Adorable.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Lubin's and Rubens. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Right across the street from each
Right,
other.
yeah. And that's,
That's Newton's Dairy over
Yeah.
at Manchester
Dairy.
Street.
Well,
Very
got a lot of
good.
photos
Look
on
at all the
that.
trucks they had.
Yeah.
They were big time. Of course,
proud of them.
everybody had their milk delivered.
Right.
Just about anybody.
Yep.
Everybody had one of those little
your
storage
metal,
things.
yeah,
at their
your
house.
metal milk container.
Well,
and there's
Leominster
their
has
ad
the
for their
purest,
eggnog.
freshest milk.
I know. Yeah, well, Butch Tossi did that whole presentation over at the Historic Society.
Yes.
Of all
Of
the
the milk
farms in
bottles.
Leominster.
Yep.
That was excellent. Is it still there, or did they sort of take that down?
We took
yeah,
the
we took-
It's
display
down.
down.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yep.
that's all
Incredible.
stuff.
I mean,
Those
that
are
was
his
impressive.
collect-
That's his collection.
That was
yeah.
Tossi's
impressive.
collection.
Delicious, non-alcoholic. Look at everybody had a tie on. and
clean milk,
It's the way
yeah.
it was. You could buy shoes. People had a tie on, or dress nice.
Oh, yeah.
No cell phones.
No cell
Yeah,
phones.
no cell phones. No.
Good tip.
There's Rockdales.
Oh, Rockdale's. We've got
Rockdale's,
some
yeah.
great pictures of Rockdale.
That's 1957, I
I can hear the
believe.
floors squeaking as I.
Yes, yes.
Oh, the building's still there, and it still looks a lot like that.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be those businesses, but
Yep.
pretty interesting, huh? Look at the old Studebaker, whatever that car is, with the wood siding and then a panel truck
Yep.
on the front.
And then I love these shots inside Rockdale's.
Look at inside. I remember they had a concession stand on the left. You walk down the ramp and to the left, they had hot dogs
I
and
remember the ramp, yeah. Remember that.
doorbusters.
Doorbusters, Rockdale.
They had one in Lebanon, New Hampshire, and Westminster, Vermont. I didn't realize they were a chain. A chain
Yeah,
before.
Turners Falls, yeah.
Before they were a chain, they were a chain. Oh, Turners Falls they
Yeah,
had
Turners
one, huh?
Falls too, yeah.
And then Leominster, Mass.
Yeah.
Rocked it. Ahead of their time.
Look at
Look at
that.
that, huh?
And that's Grants. That's Toyland at Grants. Oh,
Grants was 54 Main, West and Mechanic Street.
yep.
I'm sorry.
Or West and
Main
Merriam.
and
There's
West
Mrs.
Street.
Rubens.
Yeah.
It's-
there's Mrs.
wow, what a
Rubin.
great picture, huh?
Yeah, Miss Leah.
Look at those windows.
Yeah. Oh, they decorated the windows.
Oh, yeah,
They
that was a
were
big deal.
great.
Well, you know what?
Yep.
Still, I tell businesses, I'm like, put things in your windows. You don't know how many times in our business we'll get a call from somebody saying, I know you're closed, but I see something in the window. Is
I
that for
saw this
sale?
in your window, yeah.
So, you know, the old days of window shopping,
Mm-hmm.
now it's car shopping. People are stopped in traffic, waiting for the light to change, and they look in the window and they see something, right?
Yes. Yeah, and that Grants too, Ron?
It looks like either Grants or
I think
Allen's.
it's Grants.
Is it Grants?
No, that's inside Rubens.
Oh, that's inside
Rubens.
Rubens.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open all day Wednesdays.
We carry chubby and husky clothes and all sorts.
That's right. All
And
sizes.
jeans. They had all the jeans.
Ruth Lee's.
Yeah. And the ads were, I mean, the papers were filled with ads.
Oh.
And then at the end of the
Well, everybody
year,
reads
like
the paper.
Yeah, but almost all the businesses had like a thank you to their customers,
right. At
wishing
the
them
end of the
well for the
year.
new year.
Right.
Tons and tons of ads in
Yeah.
the paper. Yeah.
Well, it had everything in it.
Yeah.
Births,
Yep.
deaths,
Oh yeah.
real estate transfers,
Yep.
divorces, anything you wanted to be busybody about, you could find
Well, I
out
remember
in the local newspaper.
I remember talking to Bob Cormier one time, and of course he was a newspaper
Yeah,
man
he
before
worked
he
at the
became a
Sentinel.
writer. Yeah, and he said a good local newspaper. He said if you hear a siren the night before, you should be able to open the paper that morning and
read
find out what it
where
is.
it was.
Yep.
We
yep.
still got whistles. I asked,
Yeah.
there was
Oh,
a
thank
firefighters
God.
yesterday,
Thank God.
and I
Yeah.
said, they were from Land, they're from all over. I'm like, do you guys have fire whistles anymore? And like, no. I'm like, then like, you still have fire
There would
whistles?
be a revolt if you
I'm
got
like,
rid of that whistle.
absolutely.
I would
well, you know,
cry.
the pots that they had to make because they couldn't buy had to come from a 3D printer because
Yeah.
they couldn't get even the clock up there in North Leominster.
Yeah.
This Sears,
This
came
Sears,
along
yeah.
19 what?
August of
67.
I was going to say
67.
68. And it was a big deal at the time. I remember the businesses downtown really started to panic when, you know, the mall started to set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember reading the article where they were talking, they all got together and doing some brainstorming, and they thought, let's put a roof over the downtown. That was actually an idea. You know, they were throwing ideas out.
Right. Right.
And they had, let's block the streets off and make it like a pedestrian. They had a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And they also realized that as the automobile was becoming more popular, that they needed to provide for more parking.
Right.
And you know, the mall was a place where you could go, and even though you parked just as far away as you would have if you went downtown and parked in the parking lot,
Right.
the perception was you were parking, you could see where you were walking to. So
Right.
it made it the perception that, and now we've gone the other way where nobody wants to go to a mall and everybody wants to go to a lifestyle center, or they want to call to have things delivered to their house. You know,
Yep.
80
Oh,
vans
yeah.
show up in your street every day. Mm-hmm. So there's Sears and Macy's, there's Grants.
There's
See,
Grants.
that's how I remember. YMCA, Mayo Insurance,
Yep.
Green's Drugstore. That's how I remember
Oh, yeah,
downtown.
Green's, yeah.
Yep.
And then it became, after Green's, it was Jiggies
Jig is. Yep.
Drugstore.
Yep.
Look at
Oh,
Grants,
that's the
huh?
Grants window. Yeah.
I know they used to have contests to see who had the best windows.
Shop windows. Yeah.
Wow, that's right on the corner.
Yeah. I love that, the canaries. I love that ad because of you remember the birds, the
Of course I
pet
do.
section that they had?
Do you remember if you
$7.95 for a canary.
if you walk downstairs, that's where the old appliances were. Do you remember the name of the appliances? Bradford.
Really?
I believe so. Bradford. That was their kind of
Their
like
brand?
you know,
Yeah.
kind of like GE or something.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
I think it was Bradford.
Huh.
Appliances.
We have a couple of photos. There you go, from downstairs on the
So that's
Grants.
downstairs in Grants.
Is the actual Leominster one?
Yeah, yes.
That's the actual Leominster
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
Look how low the displays were.
Yeah.
The registers were, you know, you had to push down on every
Yep.
character. Now they have inventory control. And, you know, as they say, the good old days, I don't know they'll ever come back in that capacity, but there'll be places where people will kind of recreate that you know, the Vermont Country Store. Or
Yeah.
there'll be places that kind of
Right.
recreate some
They
of those
make a
things.
destination of.
And there's Werner's
There's
Sports,
Werner's,
and
yeah.
Foster Healy started there. I don't know if that was their first place, but I remember them being there.
Yep.
And there's Warner, yeah, he's my next door neighbor over in Willam.
Amazing,
Was
huh?
he? Yeah.
They had an incredible business. And again, it became really hard for them to compete.
To compete.
But yet, you go downtown Concord and there's still a sports store there, and you go to Gardner and there's still a sports store there. And, but there's West Side
West Side
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy. I love the wise men bearing gifts.
Wise men bearing gifts.
Yeah. All right. So holidays were a big time.
They were a big deal.
Simple days.
Yeah, yeah. And
They-
you really see, but you can see, like I said, I mean, there's huge articles about, you know, and he would always, a lot of times, arrive on a fire truck. So when he
Right.
didn't come in through
That's
the copter,
customary,
or
yeah.
one year it was a Cub plane because the copter couldn't fly. But the fire truck is kind of, that's classic. And we
Symbolic.
still, are, you know, we still do that.
Right.
There's an article about the fire station decorating, they're, you know, putting the lights up outside the fire station. So there's some things that are still, we still do.
Still
you know, there's
traditions.
still traditions.
Yeah, and the common, I think it's enhanced. There's lights there, and this
Yeah.
manger's still there.
Yeah.
Music.
And music we still
yeah.
have, and we do Washington Square and Carter Park. We never literally lit that up, and that's all lit up
Yeah,
now.
it looks beautiful.
And lots of, I mean, as far as the Festival of Trees, it is more, I think there's like competition going on amongst those now, because they are one outdoing the other. If I had to pick a favorite tree this year, I'd have to
hard
narrow it
time.
down to 10 that are really, you know, I mean, they're all good, but you'd have to narrow it down to 10 and then try to pick one. You know, somebody said, you got to pick one. I'd say, I don't think it's possible to pick one.
Yeah.
But those are the good, you know, as they say, the good old days. Life was simple. But on the other hand, a lot of people walked.
Right.
An
yeah.
automobile didn't quite operate the way it does today. Lots of jumper cables and alternators, right? Remember having to go to Burpee and Cody's to get an alternator for about
Telling
12
my
bucks?
daughter about rear wheel drive.
Rear wheel drive.
And the snow, you had to put a cinder block in the trunk sometimes.
Right, give it some
Yeah,
weight.
give it some weight. Yep.
And you know what? It is funny
believe it.
because I used to be able to change an alternator. I used to be able to change a battery. Now, you can't do
Everything,
anything.
right, because it's
Nothing.
all
Just
computer.
maybe a
You
light
have the
bulb.
It's
computer
all
program.
computers.
Right, or a light bulb if you can get your hands through if you can get to the bulb without having to dismantle. 978-534-1626, members of the Conservation Commission, Historic Commission, chatting about the old days of the holidays. I know, you know, we didn't have a huge stage or anything at Lancaster Street School, but every teacher played the piano. And every teacher,
Yeah.
right, Ronnie, you went to Lancaster
Oh, yeah,
School.
totally.
Every teacher played the piano. Every teacher played music. They always had plays during the holidays. When I think back, they were probably kind of hokey. You know, they didn't have all the
Oh
fancy
yeah,
lights.
the paper talks about, you know, different, all the things at the schools. The other thing that you see is they report on all the companies that had parties.
Right.
You know, you'd hear
Who was
about
there?
them. Commonwealth Plastics actually had theirs at City Hall.
Yeah.
So it, you know, it was a big deal. You know. The different associations, like the different churches, the parties for kids that they would have, and
I always liked the articles that used to say, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so went on vacation to see
Oh, yeah, the
his
local
brother-in-law in Toledo,
Absolutely.
Ohio. Right?
the local news
They were
section
gone for a
was
week.
local news.
Right.
Absolutely.
And everybody read it.
Yeah.
From the beginning, it had
Somebody
the
was
weather
in the
on the top.
hospital. Somebody
Yeah.
was sick.
Yeah.
They were, you know, they weren't doing well. They were doing better.
It was,
you know?
it was Facebook without all the
Yes.
misinformation.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
It was interesting and an interesting time. That we're fortunate enough to have lived through some of it, if not all of it.
Right.
And like I said, I think my memories are bigger than they maybe really were. But when they put the streamers across the street, that was like a big deal.
I love those.
We stopped doing that because of liability.
Right, because it was
The
pulling.
businesses
I think
said,
yeah,
you know,
it's
they're
kind of
pulling,
on the
yanking on the
building.
thing. What if a brick comes out, hits somebody? You know,
Right.
the Morgans of the world started to change things, and everybody
Yeah.
started, you know, and we were like, yeah, we'll give you insurance, and that even didn't muster
Yeah.
anymore. You know, these bigger
I love
companies.
those though. That's my.
Yeah,
That is
but
my big memory.
we supplemented with other things, right?
Right, right.
We
And like
do
I
other
said, there were
things.
still certain things, you still have Santa, going,
We do the parade,
arriving on the fire truck.
Festival of
and having
Trees.
the
That wasn't done
parade
at
and-
City Hall. We do tons of events and concerts, and so you kind of supplant, right? You kind of
Right.
you take what's still there, and then sometimes you bring it back.
Yep.
People are like, hey, that's pretty cool,
And now I can embarrass my son and tell a story when he was little. It was probably maybe 8 or 9. And of course, Santa would arrive on the fire truck and, be downtown for a little while. And then he'd go off on the fire truck. And my dad was driving Ladder 2. He was the driver. And he said to me, I'm going to give you the signal. He says, and when you see, he goes, hoist him up to me so I can put him in the cab with me and drive back to the station. And there was a family next to me, and the kid's going, Dad, how come that kid gets to ride in the fire
because he's
truck?
gonna be a firefighter
I
in
said,
about
because
30
his
years.
grandfather's driving the truck.
And he's going to be a firefighter.
And he is going to
30
be,
years.
and he is.
Carla, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dean. It's Nancy. How are you?
Nancy Weeks.
Hey, I just want to thank you. You brought wonderful memories back to me. I remember all those stores.
Every one of them. I don't remember them all because there were some, like I remember Sabatelli's, and then I remember they moved over where Grant's was. I remember that. They sold appliances and jewelry.
I still have something from their store that my grandmother bought.
Wow.
It's one of those old stereo consoles.
Well, that's the best to
My
me.
China, my
I could
China.
care less about appliances when I was a kid, but going downstairs where they sold
yeah, where they had all
tubes
the
to the radio
records,
and
and they had all the
radios
records.
and records,
yeah.
to me that was
great.
Disney,
Yeah.
right? Being able to walk downstairs at Sabatelli's.
They had the soundtrack to the Pink Panther movie, and I remember hiding it because I was going to buy it for my dad, and I didn't have any money that day.
It was a big deal.
Putting it in the back so I could go get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
yeah.
of those stores, I
It
mean,
was huge.
you could spend hours.
So much.
You could, thank you. You could spend hours downtown.
Yes, absolutely.
Like at
You
some
really could.
point,
Yep.
when the bus did drive down Lancaster Street or Mechanic Street, they had a pretty good system.
Mm-hmm.
You pull a little line and it would send a signal to the driver that you want to get out.
Yeah, you want to get
Right?
off.
And so they were good days.
Yeah, they really.
And what do you think, Mike?
Well, I was just looking at Ron's book there. And,
Yes, I
Yes,
see.
we need
Are
to
we
talk
seeing this
about
for
that.
the first time?
we
For the first
requested,
time.
like,
Ron, this is about
minutes
2.5
of
inches
airtime.
of paper here.
Mayor, you have no
It's-
idea how much
it's
effort
wonderful.
Ron put into
I
this
know.
book.
I remember, Pat, you guys did something like this before and after or something.
Rocky
long
did.
ago.
Rocky did.
20
yeah.
years
Rocky
ago.
did it, and we lost Rocky, who was just an absolute wonderful
It's
human
dedicated
being.
to him. The book's dedicated to him.
And it's dedicated to Rocky,
Yep.
Rocky Palmieri, and he was just a delightful guy.
He was.
Who just took pictures in places that nobody really knew he was taking pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
In special places at special times.
Yep.
And I also see Chris Bro has some pictures in here, in the Henry St. Cyr collection. And
Ron has a lot of photography. Ron's
is
photography.
this for sale?
So
It will be.
I got the idea from Rocky Palmero. I was constantly going up to the nursing home before he passed away, advising me on how to go about putting this all together.
Yeah.
He was telling me the history of all the photographers, dating back to about 6 generations of photographers, starting with Edmund Davis, Percy Johnson, Henry St. Cyr, and then a whole host of other ones that we had gotten together. And with the permission from the society and the commission, I was able to put together this marvelous book for the community of Leominster. And it's going to go on sale. We got 2 copies from the high school today. Tomorrow I'm going to give the go-ahead to print 100 books, and they'll be available at the commission and possibly this library and the city hall. And I think Dean and the library are going to let me do a book signing.
Yes. This is outstanding. I flipped through it. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Right now,
There's
it's got
some great pictures.
it's
in
got a
there.
coil, but the books that are going to come in won't have the coil. This is just temporary. But it's good. They got over 660 photographs in here,
Yeah.
going all the
It's
way back to
wonderful.
1879. And,
Great holiday gift.
There you go.
and it's broken down into 13
How much is it
sections.
gonna be?
Probably 35.
35,
It's
yeah.
non-profit. We don't take any money from that. But you're going to really enjoy it. It's got the street addresses. It's broken down into 13 sections, and it was quite a project putting it together. I spent hours and hours and nights on doing the project.
A lot of work.
It's fun to look
Yeah.
at, and
Different
once
chapters.
you start looking, you can't stop.
No, you got to
Yeah.
keep going. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
Well,
definitely.
thank you for coming on. It's a big deal. It's the holiday season, and
Yeah.
next week we have Santa.
yes.
We have special hours for Santa next week. Is he 6 to 7 next week, or?
I believe so.
Yeah, because if it's 4, it's too early. The parents
Yeah.
aren't home yet and everything. So we bring Santa in next week, the 18th.
And then Saturday, we have the Drake House.
Yes, the Drake House is this
afternoon,
Saturday,
the
2 days from
society,
now.
1 to 4.
1 to 4, they'll give you a tour, there'll be refreshments, emergency management will be there, and yeah, so a whole lot going on. I'm going to read all the announcements. We've got John DeCicco coming in from the Colonial Band,
Yeah.
and we have tomorrow night we'll be bringing in poinsettia. Now, poinsettia isn't just a tradition here in the city of Leominster, that big dinosaur that goes goes
Allen's.
to Allen's, but there's actually a story about poinsettia that's written by Tucker Allen's daughter when she was just a kid.
Yep.
So there's more. We'll have refreshments after. So bundle up. We'll be there at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Let's see. I think there's still tickets available. The Health Alliance has a breakfast for kids with Santa at 8:30, and then I think at 10:30. But you got to go to the gift shop to get the tickets. And then on Sundays, a very busy day. I don't know if I covered Saturday. I think there are a couple other things. The Gateway Orchestra up there at Fitchburg State College. And then, I don't know, it's just, John, there's just so much
I
going
think
on.
there's
And
a
then-
concert at the
but
library too. I think that's
Is there?
Saturday. I believe
Saturday's
that's
a concert?
Saturday afternoon, yeah.
Can you send that over to me?
Before the
Because
stroll, right? I think because the stroll,
Stroll was last week.
last week, okay, never mind,
right,
never
so it's last
mind. It was wonderful and you missed it.
So on
But come to
Sunday...
the Drake House.
But come to the
instead.
Drake House,
So
absolutely.
Sunday's a busy day as well. So at 2 o'clock starts the Colonial Band concert. Then at 3 o'clock, some people are going to try to make it to both. At 3 o'clock, Montezuma Chorale's Fuge
Oh, yeah.
is going to
Hot
be
Fugue
at
Sunday.
St. Cecilia's. And they're there doing the carols of, I forget the fancy name for it. But anyway, and then at 4 o'clock, our friends from United Methodist, I think, are coming down to do. Last year, they just planned it. They said we'll be out there from 4 to 5, and right downtown on Sunday night. And they started. I bet you there were 30 people there watching, and by the time they were through, there were about 100.
Yeah.
So they'll be singing Christmas carols on the Common from 4 to 5. 4 to 5. Just you don't have to do anything extravagant. 4 to 5, and the lights will be on downtown, and you come and sing, and I'll be in the back, so you can't hear me singing. All right, we're taking a short break. Thank you very much. Happy holidays to all of you, and we'll have more changing times here available for you next week, and well, this week, this year, so. Christmas Eve day is Wednesday, so Wednesday night. Thursday is Christmas, and Hanukkah starts this coming Monday, the 15th. And just to let you know, we're going to open early, close late, Monday and Tuesday, the 22nd, 23rd, 8 to 5:30. So if you need to get things done,
That's
get in the
all,
building
yeah.
inspector's office, get some books and DVD, whatever you need to do, get it done. And we're going to close on Wednesday at noon. We won't be open Thursday and Friday. It's just a wasted day for people. And so what we're doing is opening early and staying opening early and staying late. But you can catch all that information on any of our websites or Facebook pages. We'll be right back with John DeCicco from the. We're short Steve tonight. Steve. Usually it's the Colonial Band duo with
Yeah.
Steve and. John, but tonight we just got John, so he's going to have to double up his performance. We'll be right back.
We are coming to you from the winter stroll today. We got my favorite little elf here and all kinds of stuff happening downtown. We have food trucks, a beer garden, bounce houses, a wagon ride, reindeer rides, all kinds of entertainment, live music, Christmas music, Inside City Hall, we have the Festival of Trees. It's been open from 11 a.m. It'll stay open until 5 p.m. We also have the Gingerbread Festival happening at City Hall within the Festival of Trees, where you can grab some frosting and some candy and decorate a life-size gingerbread house. And at 5 o'clock, we're going to switch from the winter stroll to the Parade of Lights. It'll go from C&M Pizza down the street we're on now, wrap around and end back on the Common. And once we get back there, we're going to have the tree lighting, where Santa will come down from his fire truck and help us light the tree with some community members. And Santa's also at the winter stroll now taking pictures with families, and it's just a day of holiday fun. Great way to kick off your December, great way to kick off the holiday season. We couldn't do it without the vendors and our sponsors and our partners and our volunteers, and it's just such a great way to get into the holiday spirit. And thank you all for being here, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we are.
The Festival of Trees. We're open tonight till 5:30, although the power is half in and half out. But Festival of Trees, it will be there through the weekend, and but you got a week left. And then at 6 o'clock on the 18th is when all the bids stop, and then the days after the people start coming. We'll still leave the trees on, but it's then when people start coming in to pick up their trees, so there's less and less trees, although there's still some left, but you really want to get in before the 18th, okay? And you can bid on trees, you can leave some quarters in the buckets of the trees that you think are the favorites. And John DeCicco is my guest right now from the Colonial Band, and doing what number Christmas concert?
35.
35.
The big one.
I haven't missed one.
I know you haven't. I know you haven't.
I'm trying to think.
Neither have I.
Let's see. The Italian-American Center, the Sheraton.
Yes, we actually started at the Sheraton, which is now, of course, the Hilton, but then moved on to the Italian Cultural Center. And then, last but not least, one of our favorite spots is City Hall.
Yeah. So we had a homeschool group the other day, and they have 90 kids. Yeah. And every kid's got some talent. They all play an instrument or they do theater. And they did first music, and then they did the Christmas Carol.
Yes, I saw that advertised.
There were people, because it's an area like Princeton, they're from all over. And the people that had never been into City Hall to see the Festival of Trees were in like awe, 100% awe. They were like, I can't believe it. And the kids were pumped because they were going to actually perform in a venue that's an old historic building built in 1915. And it's not the church, it's not the school cafeteria with a stage. It's not that feel. It's like I'm in a mini Wang Center here or something. And
yes, absolutely.
Very excited about it.
Absolutely.
The acoustics are good.
It's an incredible venue. It really is. And we're, I mean, as you said, we started, in a hotel. We moved on to a private club, and as time went on, we were fortunate enough, and through your offering, to pick us up at City Hall, and the timing was perfect because City Hall Auditorium had undergone some major renovations and facelifts, so things have been restored. And then came along several years after we were at City Hall, came along the beginning of a new tradition, which is the Festival of Trees, now in its 20th year. Yeah. And
it all added to the whole
it's
perfect night.
It is. You couldn't ask for a better venue. And I will tell you that every time the band, our members of our band, many of them, of course, live in surrounding communities, every time they come for the rehearsal the week before, which was Monday night, they're just in awe. Yeah. They're in awe of the Festival of Trees.
You get excited.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
Like, wow, look what we're playing.
Well, I can tell the band, if you're not in the Christmas spirit after you leave this, you're never going to be.
Yeah, I remember going somewhere and they had like this giant stage and they had a Christmas tree, and the place was so big, it looked like it was this big. And I'm like, hey, you could have thrown a couple decorations up.
Looks like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Exactly. Oh, that's what it looked like from where we were sitting. But anyway, the Colonial Band's doing their the last performance of 2025.
Right.
We had a busy season.
Very busy season.
I can't say I was disturbed at the fact that you had some of your concerts indoors this summer.
Neither were we.
It was pretty good. I'm like, hey, this isn't bad at all.
That's another big plus that the band members really appreciate.
We had the air
have
conditioning going. There's no bugs. I'm maybe I'm getting wimpy in my old age, but
I know.
it felt good.
It's hard. I mean, the New England tradition, as you know, is to have an outdoor concert, and that's what this band is all about. However, Mother Nature has other ideas sometimes, and
it's okay.
The most important thing is that we keep the tradition of the concerts keep going forward.
Indoor plumbing, it's not so bad.
Oh, no, it's definitely
it's not so bad.
It's not.
Anyway, the big concert's coming up. This is the final one of the year, and it's the most beautiful one of the year, and it's coming up this Sunday at 2:00 at John R. Tate Auditorium. It's free.
It's all free, and that's the other thing that we're really blessed. We have continuing support not only from the city by providing the best venue of any place. I mean, again, our musicians, the folks that perform with us, perform all over the state of Massachusetts for concerts similar to this, and they all say the same thing. Leominster City Hall is the most exciting and beautiful place to play at the Christmas season.
Let me just take the call. Is somebody on the phone? Caller, welcome to the show. Hello? I hope I didn't lose him. I just saw this blinking thing on the side of my eye here. All right. Is somebody there? Caller? No?
No.
Yes? Okay.
So anyway, the musicians really appreciate the venue. Obviously, the audience loves it. I mean, it just keeps growing every year. Last year was a record number of people, over 250 people attended.
Packed.
And
and the Montezuma Corral that we just had last week,
same thing.
Packed.
Same
I was
thing.
still pulling chairs out almost an hour later.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's the old saying: if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
It took a long time to get to this point. The early days, as you remember, you were there. The audience wasn't as large, and sometimes, ironically, when everything's free, people are skeptical. Can it be that good if it's free?
But we also kind of changed the hours, too, to make it 2 in the afternoon.
Yes, we made it much more convenient.
And people don't like to get it's cold.
No, it's difficult to come out at night.
Have supper and then go out.
And all that.
That's tough.
So this works perfect. And I want to shout out to our other sponsors, the people who help us make it become a free event. We have the Music Performance Trust Fund, which is also funding us in our summer concerts. We have the Leominster Cultural Council through the Mass Cultural Council. And we have a number of private sponsors and people who support the band all along the way. I want to thank Aroma Joe's ahead of time for them continuing to support us with the free refreshments, coffee and hot chocolate. Johnny Ahern, thank you so much. He comes through for us every year. And then, of course, all the homemade cookies are a big bonus for everybody who attends. You can't get any better than that.
And if you want to make a donation of some sort, there are a couple of different ways to do that.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind you, I don't know if you've seen these kids, but talk about taking music serious. Rose, Thorn, and Fiddle. They'll be in next Thursday at City Hall when we have the Farmers Market. And I want to give a plug to them because when you see young musicians and they take what they do so serious, I want to give them a plug. I saw them last year, and they're serious about their music, and it's free. And you come to City Hall next week at 4:00, and you can hear Rose, Thorn, and Fiddle. And very impressive. Try to come if you can make it.
Yeah.
They might be the future Colonial Band musicians.
Always looking for new
So what are we
people.
going to hear on Sunday the 13th at 2:00?
As usual, Steve always outdoes himself when it comes to programming, as you know, throughout the summer, but certainly here at the holiday times. We like to try to mix old and new.
Yeah.
There is a new piece that we're doing this year. It's called Overture for Winter Festival. We'll actually be opening the show with that. And it was actually commissioned by the Concord Band in 1994.
Wow.
But and it premiered with the actual composer, James Kernow, was there conducting it. Judy Piermarini, Steve's wife, is a member of the Concord Band and actually was at the premiere of that.
I remember seeing her out
piece.
there. Yeah.
Yep. So she was there, and that's a really nice piece. You'll see a whole medley of different Christmas tunes that everybody's going to recognize.
Right.
But he did a beautiful job of weaving them together, and it kind of paints almost like the nostalgic winter scene at the same time. Because at sundown on Sunday, as it happens to fall this particular year, is the first night of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing another new piece to the band. It's called the Hanukkah Festival, which will feature, again, traditional music of the season for Hanukkah. We like to do that when it happens to coincide. It works perfectly. This is a holiday concert.
Yeah.
We like to try to recognize,
Absolutely.
everyone.
People
and
love being exposed
very
to
much have an inclusive.
different
and we've
music.
always gotten great feedback when we program pieces like this during the Hanukkah season. We've always gotten nice feedback from the audience. So we try to keep those things, going along. One of the big pieces we will be doing that's not a Christmas tune, but one of the things this particular year, this particular season was more personal for Steve and I because it actually marked our 50th year as members of the band. And having starting as teenagers, we recognized that we stood on the shoulders of some really top-notch musicians that have been part of the Colonial Band over its history. One of which, and not the least of which, is our conductor, E. Vincent Bisceglia, who Steve and I performed under. And so in 2006, we actually commissioned a piece in Vinny's memory called Costa del Sol, which is a fabulous Spanish medley of tunes. And it just captures all the essence of that particular area of Spain. If you've ever been to that area of Spain, you can just feel the energy from it. And Vinny was, unbeknownst probably to most people, Vinny was really much into Spanish culture and bullfighting in particular.
I remember the bullfighting.
Yeah, and when Dave
did a number of songs.
Yeah, and when Dave Schaefer wrote this piece and composed it, he really, he asked Steve, well, what was Vinny's, likes and dislikes in music? And he captured it. I mean, he just hit a home run on this. And ironically, this piece, like I say, we commissioned it for the band and premiered it, but this piece has literally been performed all over the world. You can go on YouTube and you can hear orchestras from France to Ukraine to Colombia to Taiwan. And on that music, every piece of published music that was put out there has right on it.
You got to
was
send that to me. Let me just go through the. I know we started a little late today, so I hope we have a couple minutes left. But let's go through the pictures of the week because Wendy put a lot of time into putting these pictures of the week. So we'll go through this real quick, and there we go. Let's see. Great performance at Leominster High School. They did such a wonderful job. They really did. And oh, by the way, if you want to watch the parade, this was taped. I saw somebody taping it. I assume it's us. Yeah, was you up there? Remember that? What was it? What's the thing called? That piece when they chased with the sword. I'm trying to think of the name of the piece. You remember
The marching band show was Death to Medusa.
Yes, that's right. Oh my God, they did it so good.
Great show.
City Hall welcomes Joyful Players. They were the group that, this is early on, but the audience was pretty big and pretty full. And beautiful job by Out on the Rocks. They went around all the businesses downtown, City Hall, painted the windows just like the old days. And thank you to Maverick Construction for joining our parade. Look at that, like a 50-foot trailer that they lent us. It was a great parade. And we had a good time. It was the biggest one we had. People are really getting pumped with these things. And the Flamingo Express going strong with Featherstone, the Flamingo, same as co-pilot. And the great concert by the Montechusett Chorale, again, full house. And then public safety officials recognized James Murphy for his historic effort. He jumped into action when the lady was drowning out there at Whalum. Give kids making cards for kids at Shriners Hospital. And then we Shop with a Cop event. And that was a huge event. Went really well, and people are just great about donating food and donating Phil the Cruiser and gifts and toys. And even at City Hall, they've got one room just filled with gifts from the Giving Tree. Wonderful breakfast with CPAC at City Hall. They do such a beautiful job. And today, the grand opening at Restore and also a new home health care company at 59 Main Street. So we've been busy and a lot more to go. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the new year's going to bring, but we have a lot of new things planned for the new year. Anyway, John, the last couple of minutes here. Go ahead.
Yep. Well, again, thanks as always for having me on the show, and hopefully people will come out on Sunday. The weather forecast is cold, but no snow.
That's not
no snow in the forecast.
This isn't like a 62 Buick.
Exactly.
Everybody's got it.
That's right. Everybody will make do. And I guarantee you that if you're cold coming in, you'll have a warm heart going out.
And let me just say something. Everybody gets gobbled up in the whole retail and gifts and where do I get this person?
Yep.
Don't miss the season with these kinds of events. It might not be the Rockettes, but I guarantee you, locally, you're not going to find anything in Worcester County or anything west of Boston that's as good as this, and it's free.
Yeah.
And so don't miss out on some of the events that we have planned for the rest of the season. And, you know, January 4th, is it? The bell ringers will be at Pilgrim Church. Don't miss out on these things, because it's a whole nother year before you can actually get to these things.
right.
And you know what? You can always put off things like, hey, you know what? We'll have Christmas in January when everything calms down.
right.
Bell ringers do all their concerts. We're the last one.
Yeah.
Everybody's decompressed. We have fun. Place is full. Nobody's under any kind of stress. So
it.
don't miss the Colonial Band. Honestly, between the trees and the music, and then when you walk out, the concert gets over about 3:30, 3:45.
Yeah.
When you walk outside, you're going to see the carolers out there in the common. The lights will
Exactly.
be on, and who knows, we might have a few snow flurries going. We've
might.
had that happen.
Yeah.
But thank you, John, for coming on, and
Thanks
your
again.
commitment to
Thank you.
you and Steve for 50 years with this organization, and hopefully we'll see many more. But great music. Yeah, I know I get gobbled up sometime in some of the stuff, but I've been fortunate. I don't think I've missed anything this year. I'm on a roll, and hopefully in the next week or so. And then there's even things after that. I think on the 13th is the over at Christian Life Center. They're having their prelude in the morning, and there's a ton of stuff going on. There's a ton of churches and a ton of school events. All right, we're out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thanks for the whole crew here at LTV. Thanks for all our guests tonight. Thank you. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. Thanks for showing up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of MP Crowley Incorporated and by Rockland Trust, where each relationship matters.
This is LTV.